Every pregnancy needs utmost care and attention. But certain pregnancies need a little extra attention. An Rh negative mother carrying an Rh positive baby is at increased risk of complications. BSV is at the forefront to ensure safe delivery in every Rh negative pregnancy.
Hello and welcome. You're with the outside view here, presented by Women's Cricket Zone. I'm Rupa Ramani, and of course, bringing this to you are BSV, Puma, Food and Wellness, AMRI Hospitals, and MPL Sports Foundation. Well, it was quite a one-sided affair. Not something that we really love to watch. We like a good contest, like we always say here at Women's Cricket Zone. But yes, talking to us through that match where India beat Bangladesh, it was a massive defeat there to sort of get those crucial 2 points. Remember, it was a must win for India. And to talk us through that last part of that match, cricketers Sonia Dabir and Bangladesh cricketer, of course. Jesse, I need to go to you first. How disappointed are you? This was something. I mean, it's not like you didn't see this coming, but you'd have thought something else. I mean, you'd have thought this could have gone another way as well.
Yeah, obviously, we know already it was not a easy pitch to bat on. So it was very difficult when India's batter was batting. That time we saw that the pitch was very difficult, and especially for Bangladeshi batters, it was very difficult. And I told it before, like Indian spinners is going to be a big threat for Bangladesh batters, and that happens actually. Sneha Rana, she did very well, got 4 wickets, and Rajeshwari, she did very well, and everyone actually did very well. And from the first, we saw how they were struggling in the wicket. So everyone knows that what was going to happen today.
Oh, that I mean, I really, my heart goes out to you because I know that you wanted, Bangladesh to show some fight. It doesn't matter what happens with the result, to just sort of hang in there. And a few of them, of course, tried. There was some resistance from that middle order. Sonia, your thoughts? India will definitely be breathing a little easy after today.
Yeah, definitely, because this was a must-win match for them, and apart from that, they have done it by winning by 110 runs. So the net run rate thing is achieved, as also the winning is achieved. So they will be really little at ease, but they know what's coming next for them. So I'm sure, at least for today, they will breathe easy, but they will be, preparing very hard for the last match.
Yes, Jesse, I have to come to you about your thoughts regarding the batting. You've spoken enough about it. What is it that you feel Bangladesh truly sort of lacks in when it comes to sort of planning their chases or even sort of staying in there to see something through? Where do you think that improvement needs to come from?
See, I told you before, like Bangladeshi batters doesn't have very good footwork. So if you are going to play in this area, no one is going to bowl on your foot. You have to come forward. You have to go back. But they were just staying in the place. If you see the field setup, so if you like it's looks like a test field setup. So
Yeah.
how the Indian fielders attack them in the field, and there was two sleeves and all the fielders were so close, and in that place Bangladeshi batters couldn't make it. Actually, they couldn't find any gap, and they were just standing there. After that also, they knows the field setup, and they were playing that side. So
Yeah.
they need to change a lot about their batting. They have very good technique, but they need to apply some tactics as well. So technique is not enough in this level to play. You have to improvise your shot. If you have to play some what I'll say, like you have to come forward. You have to trade for the bowlers, like the bowler was doing in the same spot according to
Yeah.
the field setup, and they were just wasting the balls. And after that, when they're in pressure, when they saw like they have spent a lots of ball there, and after that it was a pressure situation, they were throwing the wicket. But I told it before, like from the first ball you have to go for win. If you're going playing for winning the match, you have to play for win. It's not like that, that you are staying in the wicket, you are not getting runs. After that you are when you are playing 10, 20, 15 balls and you are getting out, then it will be a pressure situation for the next batter as well, in the team as well.
Yes, and if you're just joining us, you'll know that India has beaten Bangladesh in that must-win encounter in the World Cup at Hamilton. This match was played. They won by 110 runs, and defending a very a rather commanding 229 in hindsight. But yes, if you've got any questions, of course, do send in, because we will feature your question and we'll ask our experts here who have been with us throughout this World Cup till now. Sonia, just you did mention in that mid innings show we had, when we were looking ahead to how the Indian bowlers were going to plan, or who was going to be really deadly or potential, or had some potential on this wicket. You did talk about Sneh Rana. You said she would definitely be someone who would look to be threatening in these conditions. How impressed were you by her?
Oh, definitely. It was a very, very impressive spell because she was getting that ball to bounce. She was getting that nip, and she was bowling in perfect areas. She was going to. I am very. I feel sorry for her not getting that fifth wicket, because she definitely deserved that 5 wicket haul today. And I was really impressed by the way Mithali rotated her bowlers today. It was
Yes.
really nice to see those bowlers coming in short spell and finishing those 20 overs, because there was a rain,
Hmm.
chance of
Correct.
a rain. And at least you to get those 20 overs, those spinners coming and bowling well in that crucial period and getting those wickets. And Snare Rana was definitely outstanding.
Your thoughts as well, Jesse. We spoke. I mean, you did say that a lot of the Indian spinners were going to hold the key, and that's what happened. Your thoughts about how well the spin quartet sort of did today?
They were like amazing, amazing. I was talking about Rajeshwari, and she did 10 over 4 maiden, 15 runs and one wicket. So wicket was not important. 4 maiden and 15 runs, that pressure she have given to Bangladeshi batters. After that, Sneha did very well, and everyone actually. So it's
Yeah.
very important when you are bowling. If you'll get 1, 2, 3, 4 maiden over, oh my god, it's really really amazing. And 15 runs with one wicket. So the bowling figure, if you see about the wicket, it's not very important in this match, because they have done only 110 runs. So the economy rate was very important. And with that, Sneha Rana and Poonam, I was telling about Poonam. So before Poonam came, before everyone have done their work. So it was before, like everyone have to depend on Poonam and other spinners. But now the days have changed. They got new spinners and they're doing very well. That is the good sign. Like, you don't need to depend on your senior and most experienced bowler. Before that, the other youngsters are doing their job very well.
Yes, it actually has been a very commanding performances from a lot of the youngsters whom we keep talking about in the Indian squad, as rightfully as Jesse says. And if you just, of course, witnessed that match, let's quickly take you through that scorecard or the match summary of that match in Hamilton between India and Bangladesh. India were put to were batting first, and they ended up scoring 229 for 7. The top scorer again, Jastika Bhatia with that 50. She ended up being the man, the woman of the match as well. Bangladesh, in response, sort of folding in 40 overs. Quite a bit of a fight towards the end. They started off quite a flurry of wickets at the start, like Jesse and Sonia were saying. Job done in the start as well. The middle order sort of tried to consolidate. Lata Mondal and Salma Khatun, of course, trying to do their best to steady that ship and see how close they could get to that target, but it was probably a little too late. It was quite a commanding display by the Indian bowlers who tried to defend that. Quite a decent total at the end. Sonia, just your thoughts on how you sort of perceived the Bangladesh women today, especially in the second half of the match.
Can you just repeat? I just missed out on that question.
No problem, Sonia. Just wanted you to speak about that second half of the match. How did you perceive the Bangladesh women batters? Sort of, how did they approach the situation in your eyes?
I think while in the first innings when they bowled, the spinners or the overall team as well, they must have thought that 230 was not that easy to get, but they somewhere believed. But they were definitely aware of the Indian spinners, and I feel they also must have been, thought that Indian team also might open with spinner, and they might have been prepared for all these situations. But I think the spinners really bowled well today. They were hardly, the spell from Rajeshwari rightly said that not only she didn't take many wickets, but the stopping of runs which she did from the other end definitely gave an edge to other bowlers who were bowling around her to get those quick wickets and make that impact initially in that 10 overs.
Yes, and it just sort of continued to build the pressure in some sense from there on. If I had to ask you, Jesse, where does, at this point, where does Bangladesh stand in terms of what you've seen them so far at the World Cup? They've actually done a lot and they showed a lot of promise. But if I had to ask you, as someone who's obviously been part of the sport, and where do you see them at this point, and where do you see them heading from here?
See, today was a bad day for Bangladesh. Only for batting. So if you ask me about the bowling, they were okay. They were okay with Indian batters. It was a good side for them that they could restrict Indian batter in 222, 29. That is a good thing for them.
Yeah.
There is no doubt about Bangladeshi bowlers and fielders, like they're very good, and they can fight with any team with their bowling and fielding strength. But Bangladesh team have to think about their batters. They have very good batters, definitely they have
Mm.
very good batters, but they need to improve their shots. They need to improve their lackings, because if you're playing in this mega event, you are going to fight with the world champion and the biggest team of the world. So you should not have any lackings when you are playing there. You have to know how to play big shots with whatever it is, you are strong or not. Yeah, you are not as much strong like West Indies, like England or Australia, but their technique is really very good. They need to work more on their big hits, because when you are playing with these big teams, your singles and doubles will not be enough for winning the team. Yeah, maybe the teams like Pakistan, the capability is same like us. See, if you see the infrastructure of Bangladesh and Pakistan cricket is almost same, and the
Yes.
physical fitness and everything is almost same. Bangladesh and Pakistan is not different. But if you see Indian players, like the new players who is coming, if you see Julon's height and high strength, and all the new players today, they play Richa and Pooja and everyone, they are really very strong. So but if you cannot be strong, that is not in our hand, but you can improve in your shots. So I think they understand their lackings. They when they will come back, they will work definitely with that. I still believe the players who have in the Bangladesh team, they are best players in Bangladesh. So the team have picked the best players from Bangladesh. They can do a lots of things for Bangladesh, and they will do definitely, because this is the first World Cup. They are taking lots of experience from this World Cup, but next World Cup they will do a lots of improvement definitely.
Yeah, absolutely, Jesse. And in fact, they can still go out on a high. They have a couple of more matches, and you were talking about playing world champions. That's whom they're playing. They're playing Australia in their next one, and definitely can think of going on a high for sure. But before I go to Sonia, let me just quickly also take you through the points table, because that win has sort of shifted a lot of things in the top four. Something that India will be very, very keenly watching, because a lot of things can still change. We don't know where this will head, and it's actually so interesting. Right now, the only team that obviously is sure and through is Australia. South Africa still is sitting there at 8 points. India on 6 points. The rest, so too West Indies, and West Indies also has a game against South Africa. South Africa is playing a couple of matches, one against India as well. That would be the last of the group matches before we decide who the semi-finalists are. England, New Zealand snapping at their heels as well. They've got a couple of games and maybe some matches here and there. You never know how the equations will go. So then is that something that's going to be playing on their mind? It's not just cricket now. It's a lot of numbers. It's the run rate. How is their mindset or the mind frame here ahead of the only other game when you know that it depends on a lot of other results as well.
To be honest, this net run rate or these calculations are not only going to be on India's mind, but West Indies, South Africa, England, and New Zealand. So I think too many maths calculations have to be done before you play a game of cricket. But yeah, definitely, the most important thing which India will go for in the next match is to win that match. And the secondary thing that it will be the net run rate, but definitely they will be having some calculations behind their mind while they are playing that game. And that might be, because that's India and South Africa is the last game, league game of the tournament. So
Right.
uh, that can be an advantage for them, definitely. But at the same time, many things are depending upon the matches they will be watching before they play that South Africa match. So yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of nerves for sure. I mean, a lot of little games that might just tilt the whole scales and how the team sort of the entire points table sort of shapes up. So a very very exciting last few matches. In fact, the last week before the knockouts and the last sort of business end of the tournament happens. So interesting times ahead, interesting matches ahead as well. But for now, thank you so much, ladies, Jessie and Sonia, for joining us here on the show and taking us through that match, India versus Bangladesh it was, and for all of you to sort of join us as well here on the Outside View. But do stay on for much, much more, and thanks for watching.